The same trio of Hololive figures, their paintwork are different, and this Mio over here, this figure of Mio over here, her hair is the smoothest among the three. Why this is the case, I'm really not sure. Is it a budget thing? Hi and welcome back to X-Kurogane Blog and Photography. I'm Steven. Today's figure review is a direct continuation of my most recent review of Usada Pekora under the very same pop-up parade series of affordable figures. Though Pekora was made by Max Factory, and I did mention how Max Factory might have saved the day by giving us a rather decent figure of Pekora, given that Good Smile Company had issues with quality control for the past few releases. However, today we are back to Good Smile Company. This pop-up red figure over here, Ookami Mio, from Hololive series as well. This one is made by Good Smile Company. How did she turn out then, given this is made by Good Smile, not Max Factory? We shall get to that in a moment. Before that, we have a quick look at the figure's specs. 17 centimeters tall like most pop-up red figures, and she sells for 3,800 Japanese yen, which is a bit lower than Pekora. Yeah, but more in line with most other pop-up red figures out there. Her box is also the same as pretty much every other pop-up red figures out there, so I will skip past the unboxing part and we go straight to the figure itself. So, how did she turn out? This figure might be kind of a salvation for Good Smile after a few releases with somewhat questionable quality. Not the case with Mio. She is pretty much very similar to what we see in the official product photos during the pre-order period. Fairly well made. The sculpt of the figure, and especially the face, which is something I pay a lot of attention to, 100% accuracy over there. I don't see any problems at all. And moreover, the paint work of this figure, surprisingly, it looks very tidy, very neat. Which is to say, while there is nothing quite outstanding or unique about the paint work, at the same time, there is nothing quite wrong about it either. Everything is just neatly done, very tidy, not much flaws to be found, except for very minor areas of paint bleeding, which I will show you guys in a moment. What I'm impressed with the most is the back of her head over here. This black color hair of hers. This semi-gloss black color we are looking at. This is a lot better than what we usually see in many other pop-up red figures, where the paint work tend to be on the matte side of things. It is not glossy, the surface is matte and flat, and sometimes can be rather rough to the touch of the finger. This one is very smooth and very nicely finished in comparison. So I'm not really sure what is going on with this inconsistency, where some figures have a different paint job, a different paint finish than the others despite being in the same set. The same trio of Hololive figures, Ookami Mio, Pekora, and the others over there, Fubuki, their paint work are different, and this Mio over here, this figure of Mio over here, her hair is the smoothest among the three. It's like they put extra effort into giving a very nice finish on the paint job of the hair. I don't know why this is the case. I'm not sure. Is it a budget thing, where the other figure is more complex, so they cut down on the detail in the paint work, while a simpler figure, they have some leftover budget, so they give it a nicer finish on the paint work? I really am not sure, but this inconsistency is a bit odd to me. Yeah, it is kind of weird. Alright, so these are the good parts of this figure. So what are the bad parts? First one, the paint bleeding. Well, this is very minor. At the back of her hair over here, the ribbon area, yeah, you can see a bit of red paint bleeding over to the white regions, but really this is so minor that I would just close one eye and pretend it does not exist. Well, at this price point, this is kind of acceptable. But the other thing which is kind of an eyesore to me, not necessarily a negative, but an eyesore nonetheless, is this huge foot peg on her leg over here. This is one of the ugliest and fattest foot peg I've seen in some time, but I can understand why it is necessary because the other pair of black colored pegs on her other leg, that is not enough to support the figure. It will break at some point. This is also kind of a false advertisement in some way because this transparent foot peg you're looking at over here, it wasn't present in the official product photos. So I'll leave it to you to decide whether this can be considered false advertisement or not, but at the same time, I can understand why this foot peg is necessary. As for the base, this would be my 4th or 5th time repeating the same thing. I don't mind the hexagonal shape, but I'm not a fan of the color. So this figure of Ookami Mio is kind of a salvation for good small company in some way, where after a series of poorly quality controlled figures, this one is way much better in comparison. However, one single figure does not speak much because we need to see the others that comes out after this under the pop-up rate figure series on whether they are any good or not, because in the end, consistency is the key. Consistency is the most important thing when it comes to quality control. So is this figure of Ookami Mio a good purchase? This time around, yes it is. Go ahead and get one if you are interested in her. And that is about it for today's figure review. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you again very soon. Goodbye.